I feel led to make a video on something I've never made a video on, but I might just jump into this stream because I've been thinking about it for quite some time. Teaching on parenting, right? Many of you out there have children, and yeah, it's pretty crazy how you get like an instruction manual when you buy something, but nobody teaches you how to be a parent, and yet it's like you're taking care of a soul, you're taking care of a human, and more than just that, you're raising one, right? So I'm gonna give you some helpful tips here on how to raise a child. I have two boys, and don't know much about raising a girl, but I can tell you about a boy, and hopefully this helps you. So, as it pertains to a child, I tend to focus on their future. I tend to focus on, kind of like how God says that He's the potter and we're the clay, and that He molds us, right? Well, I tend to focus more on giving them life skills, principles to live by, mindsets, right? Mentality. One of the first things that I taught my children is how to believe in God, right? But with that concept of believing in God, I didn't want them to just think that of God as a genie or Santa Claus. So I had to break it down for them. So I watched a lot of the cartoon with them called Superbook. If you have children, put on Superbook for them. It's really nice. It's a cartoon, a biblical character. Cartoon's very entertaining for them. And it's got the biblical theme to it, right? So it teaches them the stories. They love it. So I would say that that's, you know, 0 to 10 years of age. You could put that kind of stuff on for them to kind of build a foundation. That's the first thing you want to do with a child, is build a foundation. If they don't have a foundation to stand on, then, they're going to have a hard time just being rooted, just being grounded. They're going to let their emotions take them everywhere they go, impulses, feelings, the way that seems right to them, and the training and the programming that comes from, tablets, phones, and TV. We got to be careful with that. So we want to build first a foundation for the kid, and what better than God to lead them in the way they should go? So I teach them the reverence and the fear of God, right? They teach you how to fear Santa Claus. He's watching you, right? He's checking his list, right? But right off the get-go, like I decided I'm not gonna lie to my children. Life is hard enough. I don't need to set them up for handicaps. And so I decided my kids are gonna get the raw truth about everything. I'm gonna set them up for success. I'm giving my kids millionaire mindsets. I'm giving my kids entrepreneur mindsets, boss type of mindsets, work ethic, right? Teaching them how to make money. I'm teaching them how to work hard, teaching them how to take care of themselves, be self-sufficient, teaching my kids how to love on God and serve people. I'm teaching my kids how to behave, both in public and in private. And this is something I often tell my kids, right? What life is all about. I put it in categories: God first, then family, then you want to work on yourself, such as your mindset, your physical exercise and stuff like that. You want to take care of yourself. Then you want to take care of your economy. Then comes fun. Then comes everything else, right? Because you're gonna throw in fun in there, because you don't want life to be all structure and no fun time, right? But even with that fun time, I make it a point to tell them, make it a godly fun, right? So I show them, exposure therapy is show them, right? The best thing you can do for kids is not tell them, but to show them. So we drive around and I point at people that are drug addicts, and I show them their condition, and I say, look, this is what drugs does to you, right? This is what alcohol does to you, right? So then I show them homeless people, and I say, look, this is what happens when you don't work. This is what happens when you don't have a work. Like, you don't know, when you don't have a good mind on your shoulders and stuff like that. Now, given, it's not like I paint out homeless people out to be lazy or this or that, but I give them the understanding that they can get up, right? And they can get a job if they want to. Most of them. Some of them no. But most of them, they can. And so then I try to tell them, like, the mindset is so important, right? Because if you carry on a poor me, victim type mentality, you'll stay down. But once you understand that it's up to you to get up and do something about the situation, then you can take accountability and responsibility for that situation and then go forward with it. I'm training my kids how to appropriate themselves in real life and give them the best leg up that I could possibly give them. So what do I do with them? I teach them life skills. I tell them be good at everything so that you don't need to rely on anybody. But I'm basically, at the same time I say, okay, you're not going to be good at everything. But the goal is to be good at everything, right? Be good at everything. Learn about everything is what I tell them. Read books. Learn about everything so that you can have a leg up on anybody that wants to school you or anybody that wants to manipulate or con you or this or that. You already know about it so that you're not going to be at the tail end of this thing, right? Where they're maneuvering you and handling you, and then you find out later on, oh man, they gypped me. So I tell them about all that kind of stuff. My children are 9 and 11. I've been doing this since they've been very young. I give them life lessons every single day of their life, right? Teach them about dangers, teach them about people, the psychology of people, teach them how to fight. I teach them not to, for example, when I say I teach them how to fight, I teach them how to defend themselves. I don't believe that a kid should get bullied or picked on. So at that point, I believe that the kid should stand up for himself if it's one of those situations, right? We all understand what we're talking about here. They know better than to start a fight, pick a fight, or bully, or anything like that. But as it presents itself that a kid is pushing you around, I condone self-defense, okay? What else do we got here? So God being the foundation, I just look at life and I start to teach them, like, life is going to hand you a lot of problems, like a lot of different types of problems, right? Some of the problems it's going to hand you is communication, and you're just going to have to communicate yourself to the other person. They're not going to really understand you, and you're going to have to solve that problem by how you maneuver yourself, right? They're not really quite there yet, but I tried to kind of like throw nuggets their way when it comes to that. So then I'll just, where I'm at with them right now currently is that I want them to solve problems, like just your everyday problems. Like the other day I had them washing the dishes, because I want them to learn how to clean their own clothes, how to cook for themselves, how to do everything, right? So that they don't have to rely on their girlfriend or their wife to do it. They don't have to pay somebody. If they choose to pay somebody to do it for them, it's not because they can't do it themselves. It's more so like they got the money and they don't feel like doing it at that point. Go for it. But as it relates to learning how to do everything and being self-sufficient, the best thing we can do as parents is to teach our kids life skills. Anything and everything, right? How to put a picture up on the wall, hammer in a nail, screwing a light bulb, how to, everything that's very basic like that, and then moving forward from there to how to fix an appliance, how to build something from IKEA or whatever, how to follow, look at an instruction, or how to YouTube stuff, and how to just, figure it out for yourself. So teaching them that mindset, right? And is way different, than what you got going on today in today's day and age. That you leave kids, right, and you do everything for them. But right now, what compelled me to make this video is that as I was driving to work, I see a woman, a mom, with her kid that's like 7 or 8 years old, and he's in a one of those. It's not a stroller, but it's like bigger, and he's just sitting in there. And she's rolling him to school, and it's disguised as love. Oh, I don't want you to walk too much. Maybe she lives close by. She didn't want to walk. And I think to myself, I see that, I say, that's the worst thing you can do for that kid. The worst thing. First of all, it's going to make him lazy. It's going to make him, spoiled. It's going to make him soft. It's going to make him all these things. And it will absolutely do that. Like, I'll debate anybody out there. Like, whoever wants to say, no, it won't. Yes, it will. Absolutely, it will. It will deconstruct his character, not construct it, not build it. It will take away from his character. But on top of all of that, right, what a boy needs the most is how to be masculine and tough and strong and take care of his mom the day of tomorrow. That's why men should raise their boys, is because women are way too soft and feminine and way too comfort. They want to comfort and hugs and kisses and all that. There's a time for that. But they shouldn't be around the clock every day. There should be a time for that, say maybe if he gets hurt or whatever, and you're like, hey, it's going to be okay, get back up, kind of stuff, like that comfort. But what happens when it's just a lot of smooching and not enough discipline, all that, you get that kid to run over his mom. The thing is that it backfires. That's what I'm trying to say. He starts to disrespect his mom as he gets older. He starts to manipulate. Mom, get me this. Mom, get me that. He doesn't want to move. He doesn't want to clean his room. He doesn't want to listen. Right? Because why? His mom doesn't have a backbone. So then his mom kind of looks at him like, why are you not listening to me? Why? And she's just like trying her very, very best. And the kid's like, right? So the kids tend to obey and respect leadership, and then also like authority. And as you kind of direct them in the path that they should go, instinctively they know that you're helping them. They may act differently, but sometimes you can sit them around, sit them down, and you can be like, hey, listen, look, the reason why we're doing it like this is because I'm setting you up for success for your future. And it doesn't, I'll try to explain it to you. Maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't get it. But what I do need you to understand right now is that I'm helping you. It feels uncomfortable for you. You don't understand why I took away this tablet or that phone or this or whatever. And that's okay. You don't understand that. But I'm going to tell you something. The day of tomorrow, you're going to thank me. And you start to talk to them in this way, and then they look at you in the end and they agree with you. They accept it. Why? Because intuitively, they know, okay, you love me and you're taking care of me. Right? But these are the types of very basic things that we got to do as parents for our children. And failure to do that, failure to teach your kids to look left and right, can get them killed when they're crossing the road. Failure to really teach them the very, basics of life. You're not helping them, you're hurting them. The worst thing that we could do is do everything for our kids. That's the worst thing you could ever do for your kids. When you do that, you're handicapping them. Because sooner or later, something's going to happen to you. You're not going to be in their life anymore. And what skills are they going to have to take care of themselves, right? And guess what? I'm speaking from experience. My mom did that to me. My dad wasn't in the picture. And my mom, she did everything. She did everything. She bought me drugs. She bought me cigarettes. She bought me beer. I didn't have to go to school. There was no rules in the house. Not that she bought me those things, because she went out of her way to buy me those things, more so like I manipulated my mom. Because a boy growing up, a mom can't, like for the most part, you have those exceptions, but for the most part, a boy will wrap their mom around their finger 5 times over and just have their way with her, because they see all the weaknesses. They see like, if I just get a little loud, she backs off. If I just get a little this, that, and the other, and then they pick up on that. They pick up on the weaknesses, and they capitalize on it, and then they get away with a whole lot, right? So I'm not against, I love exercise, right? Uh, so I have my kids doing push-ups every day. I have my kids doing a bunch. Now, one thing that I do that's a little different than other people is that I want to teach my kids about money. I want to teach my kids how to, and what better way to teach them? I don't think there's a better teacher than experience itself. Right? You can tell your kids a bunch of stuff, but experience is the best teacher. So what I do is that I could tell them like go wash the dishes. I could tell them like clean the floor, mop and vacuum. I could tell them all that stuff. But rather than tell them, I say, listen, do this, I'll give you $5. Right? I got 2 of them, so $5 each. Right? Now, how many times do your kids not come up to you and say, I want this, I want that? Right? I want ice cream, I want candy, I want food, I want pizza, I want what they want, right? I said, fine, no problem. So this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna work for what you want. You're gonna rake those leaves. I'm gonna give you $5 or $10. You're gonna save up, or you're gonna spend it. What they have developed over a period of time, and I've been doing this for years, is they've developed respect for money, value for money, appreciation for money. They don't want to spend their money. They like having money. So then when they do spend it, it's on something that they really, like, oh, take me to Wendy's. Okay, you got money? Yeah, I got money. Let's go. Right? I make it a point for them to always have money. So I'm always giving them little tasks to do because I want them to have money. But over a period of time, in the very beginning, they lost their money. We went through a period of 6 months. Where's your money? Oh, I lost it. Oh, that was $50 you lost, right? That was $5. That was $10, right? That was only one time that he lost 50 because he had accumulated 50 and he lost his whole wallet. But it's okay to get those mistakes out of the way now, because it's gonna happen. But if you don't get those mistakes out of the way now, you'll make them when you're an adult, and it will hurt more as an adult because you have to pay bills when you're an adult. So when you lose your wallet as an adult, it hurts a heck of a lot more because you have your ID, you have credit cards and all that. So when he lost his wallet, I took the time to really show him, like, look, somebody right now is enjoying your money. They found that wallet and they're enjoying it. Okay? And that's how it works in this life, right? Very few times will somebody tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you dropped this. It happens. But let's be honest, it doesn't happen. If you get 10 people, you're lucky if you have one of those 10 people give you your wallet back. It's been my experience, at least. I don't know. I live in Florida, Miami, Florida. That's how it is over here, at least. So, okay. So we learned a little bit about raising a child here. This is, and raising children that are going to be the leaders of the world in the future. You want them to think big. So I teach my kids how to think big. Don't think mediocre. Think like a leader. Don't be led by other people. You be the leader. The more you know, the more you understand, the better you can govern your choices and decisions. Don't let emotions and feelings lead you. Master your emotions. When you feel angry, right, you have to learn, like, feel the feeling and then maneuver the feeling so that it could help you to do something productive and not something destructive. And I teach them all this. And I just, like I said, I just felt in my spirit that to make a video on it. And one of those things that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now is to get a video of me teaching my kids so that the people watching can mimic that and teach their kids. Okay? So God bless you. I went to school for this. I got, went to school for psychology. I know the Bible inside and out. And I've had experience with, being raised the wrong way. So having that understanding of what doesn't work has given me a lot of understanding on what does work. So when you put all that together, you got a recipe for somebody that knows what the heck he's doing. So if you got any nuggets, throw them in and help the people out. So God bless you guys. Love you.